Married at First Sight, Season 12, Episode 13. I don't have a problem with Vinny sleeping late. I feel like he is out all day making all this money from all these luxury cars. Let that man sleep, girl. And all season I have been trying very, very hard not to call Brianna bossy because, I just don't like black women being called bossy, even though her family let us all know how bossy she is. But I just thought Brianna was being a little bit bossy when Vincent was trying to sleep and she's asking him, well, don't you want to wake up? Come on and wake up. I was like, girl, let that man sleep. That man's making all that money. Let him sleep. Girl. Mm. Until he says something, I'm telling you what he said. Welcome back to Church Girls and Faith Girls. Want to get married to? My name is Janice. I want to thank you for 10,000 subscribers. Yeah! Girl, I spent all morning pinning this up. Thank you for your love and support. Y'all know I have been working like a graveyard pit bull trying to make this number because a lot of the people I started with, they're at 10, 15, 20, 25 subscribers, and I was still sitting at 2,000. This is in November. I said, no, ma'am, I have got to get myself together. And I worked hard. Y'all know how hard I work, making 3, sometimes 4 videos a day, mostly at least 2 videos, a lot of time 3 videos, and here and there maybe 4 videos a day, because I just really wanted to get my numbers. And so I am so thankful. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your love and support with my books. I could not do it without you. My books, of course, are available on Amazon. 23 Taxes Guys You Might Meet. You need this book for Ready to Love, girl. And cousin, because all of these guys in here, you need to know who they are. Moments of gratitude. This is a journal. This is my moments of gratitude where I selected certain journal entries of my journal books over the years and put them in this book. But also I did a journal for you to write your journal entries. And listen, especially if you're married, you can't be telling everybody everything. Don't put your business out there, okay? Because marriage is a covenant. Okay, and I'm not talking about, sometimes I say, girl, Mike was getting on my nerves today. I might say that to my girlfriend. And she was like, what happened, girl? I'm like, oh, he wouldn't let Michael do something or whatever. Something like, I'm not talking about that. Because I do think you have to, especially with your close girlfriends, you don't mind saying a word or two. But I'm talking about those real issues, you're going through a hard patch. Don't put your business out there like Shawnice and Jeff did, okay? Because y'all can forgive each other and come back, but people's never gonna forget what you said, girl. I never forgot what Jeff has called her a stranger. So don't do that. And of course, the in Christ I am doing a series right now on this with Paige with all the stuff she's saying about loving herself. So back to Vinnie and Brianna. I used a new thing on my face this morning. Does it look dark? My girlfriend sent it to me. Looks kind of dark, doesn't it? Doesn't even my skin. Anyways, girl, cousin. So we know the last week Vincent was in the bed and Brianna was waking him up. And she was like, come on, wake up. Don't you want to wake up? And he was like, I need 3 more hours. I'm fine with 3 more hours. I don't mind my husband sleeping. And y'all know, honey, I am nap queen, baby. I love to sleep. I'm feeling a little tired right now because I was up on live with y'all last night till almost 9 o'clock. I don't have a problem sleeping. Sleeping is important. Resting is important. Especially if that man is working hard, girl, paying these bills around here and bringing home the bacon. Honey, if he want to sleep till 12, 1 o'clock, that is no problem with me. Of course, we have a 6-year-old. It is very, very hard to do, okay? Ever so often, I'll take the kids out so my husband can get a couple of hours. Maybe he want to sleep a little bit late, and because everybody needs to sleep late. I'm an early riser. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning, writing and stuff like that, okay? So I don't mind a man sleeping late. So she goes over, she said, well, don't you want to wake up? Come on, get up. And so when Vinny went to talk to, who did he talk to? Pastor Cal or Dr. Pepper? I don't remember. Maybe I don't remember right now. They said, I think it was Pastor Cal. He asked about what can the compromise be, okay? And he was like, what you need is never wrong. Like, for example, if you need to rest, rest is important, right? I think that's a lot of issues with a lot of people. A lot of the health issues people have is about resting. We're not getting enough rest. If we could just lay down in the bed, and sometimes you don't even have to lay in the bed. You don't even have to sleep, right? You could just lay right here on this couch for about an hour and just rest. One of the advice I took from the older women in the church was, when your husband comes home, do not bug him down with all that happened. The dog bit the cat, the kids did the. No, no, no. Just give him some time to unwind and breathe. And so for the first year, 2 years, we were married, because I was pregnant for 10 months. And then for the baby, maybe 3 years of our marriage, then the baby had to walk. When Mike came home, I would come down, I would hug him. Hey, honey, are you ready for your dinner? Do you want a glass of wine or something? Sometimes he'll say, well, I'll take a glass of wine. Sometimes he'll say, okay, I'm ready for dinner. Most of the time he'll say, no, I'm not ready for dinner. I'm tired. And I would just leave him, and he would just sit right here for about an hour and watch TV or whatever. And then I would come back down, you're ready for dinner, or he would come upstairs. And so it is important, ladies, to allow your husband to rest. I'm all for it, okay? And so when Vinnie talked to whoever he talked, I think it was Pastor Cal, he said, tell her what you need, basically. I'm paraphrasing. If you need to rest, then you need to tell her. So when he came back home, he was like, what, I need to rest. I'm tired. I'm working all day. I need to rest. What can the compromise be? Brianna said the compromise can be you going to bed early. He was like, no, that's not a compromise. She was like, the compromise is going to bed early. And see, I didn't like that, Brianna. That is coming off to me as bossy, because he's an adult, right? People don't go to the bed at the same time. I go to bed early, and I wake up early. Mike don't get up early. Don't even think about waking up Big Mike early unless he has to get on a plane or something, okay? Or got to take his dad to the doctor or something. You have an appointment or something. You have to go to work, whatever. Don't even think about it. When I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning writing and stuff. So the compromise Brianna wants to make is that this grown man goes to bed early, right? And I don't think that is fair. But rewind, girl, rewind, honey. When he was in the bed, I was like, yes, Brianna, leave that man alone. Let him sleep. He's making all that money. Girl, until he said, I drive all day. I'm tired. I said, wait a minute. Something sounds a little suspicious to me. So I asked Big Mike. I said, Big Mike, he is a luxury car broker. Do they drive all day? Mike was like, no, he might have to drive here to a customer home or wherever, the dealership or anything, but he's not driving all day. Girl, I think Vinnie is a Uber and a Lyft driver, and the ghetto community taxi cab. I think he's an Uber driver, because where you going driving all day? All day, he said. He didn't say a couple of hours. All day. And Uber drivers be driving all day, and Lyft drivers, and the community get a taxi cab. You know what the community get a taxi cab. Somebody have a car. You ain't got no car, girl. You're trying to get to the supermarket, and you call and say, Poppy, come take me to the supermarket. Poppy, come take you to the supermarket. Didn't y'all have one back in the days? We had one back in the days, okay? And so now it's making sense to me why Brianna was waking her up, because you know what the old people say, the early bird get the worm, honey. And when I take Uber before COVID. If Mike has to use the truck, because we only have one truck. My husband works in New York, so he doesn't need the truck. He walk down the street, get on the train. He don't get out till he gets to New York, okay? So we have one vehicle, because two would be a waste. We don't need it, okay? But let's say the car was in the shop, or Mike need the truck to take his dad to the doctor, or Mike had to run around or whatever. Most times he would drop me off. But then sometimes I would be like, look, I got to get to work early. I'm going to take an Uber, right? And the people that I talk to in the Uber cars, they be like, oh, honey, I come out here early in the morning, honey. Rush hour is the best time to get this money, and by 9, 10 o'clock I'm going home and I'm sleeping and I'm resting, and I'm coming back out about 3:30 to get the after work rush. So it's making sense why Brianna wanted him to wake up, because he needs to get out here and get these Uber clients early and Lyft clients early in the morning. Then, girl, about 5 people emailed me that they saw a commercial with our Real Housewives, and they went to a car lot, and honey, Vinnie was the salesman at the car lot. Now, I listen. Any legal thing you do to put food on the table, hey, I'm all for it. There's nothing wrong with the Uber driver, nothing wrong with the Lyft driver, nothing wrong if you're working a sales car, man. Just wouldn't be somebody I would be married to, okay? Would choose to be my husband. And I'm thinking about Brianna, how when she said, I wanted somebody that makes more than me. And then they matched her with a scrub. Now, use your senses. Be analytical, beloved. Brianna said, and I'm going to come back and talk about that with their debt, that Vinnie started his business in April of 2020. What happened March of 2020 in the whole world? What happened? The country shut down. So the country shut down in March. During this time, remember, they did that application process in March, April, right? So the country shut down in March, and Vinnie is starting a luxury car sales place in April of 2020, when people couldn't pay their rent, people couldn't pay their mortgage, people couldn't put food on the table. Granted, you know what I say? Dave Ramsey say you need at least 30 days worth of emergency fund, okay? So it makes sense to me why Brianna is waking him up, because please tell me who was going to take thousands of dollars buying luxury cars in April in a pandemic? How many? I mean, everybody lost business. Doctors, lawyers. Okay, we hear on Merit to Medicine, the doctors say he lost 90% of his business. Dr. Helenly, they lost business. All these doctors, all these business people, they lost business. So who was buying luxury cars in April when the country was shut down? When people was crying out for the government to give them some kind of money so that they can pay their bills. Make sense to me. So I think Vinnie is a Uber and a Lyft driver on the side. And like the other lady says, they saw him on the parking lot selling cars. And I just feel so bad for Brianna, because this is not what she wanted. And I think Vinnie is the type of man that is throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. Now, I'm going to say this. My dad says we have to give the man time to get it together. Vinnie's still in his 20s. So if I was single and dating and in my 20s, if he wasn't about 30 and established, I wouldn't mess with him. So I'm going to cut Vinnie a little slack, because he's 28? So he still has a couple of years to get it together. Plus, I just think he can't keep focused. He said it. I can't focus. And that's why the girlfriend left it, because he was just trying this, trying that. Granted, that's what you're supposed to do. But by 28, 30, you need to be established by now. Okay? So I don't have a problem with Vinnie sleeping. But baby, if you are driving Uber and Lyft, you gotta get your behind up and get out here at 6 o'clock in the morning and get these clients. Because these Uber drivers, one guy lived down the street. I called the Uber. I couldn't believe this. They was outside. I said, "You got here quick?" He said, "Oh, I live right down the street, baby." And you know how these guys, honey. Let me tell you, I get out here early in these streets in the morning, honey. And at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'm out here in these streets. By 9 o'clock, I'm going home to sleep. So it makes sense why Brianna wanted him to get up so he could go get the Uber clients, because by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, let's say she's waking him up at 8 o'clock, okay? 7, 8. And he won 3 more. That's 11, 12. It's not a lot of business around at 11, 12 o'clock. So it makes sense why she was waking him up. So now that it makes sense why she was like, well, get your legs. Get your lazy behind out the bed, Vinnie. Get up and go get these Uber paid. I keep saying patients, Uber customers. Okay, I'm gonna come back and talk about the budget because he talking about buying a house. Where's the money? You got the money? Huh? Whose money you gonna use to buy a house, Vincent? And y'all don't come on here telling me about he's worth $900,000. If he's worth $900,000, dumb, why would the girlfriend leave him? Why did the girlfriend leave him if he's worth $900,000? And he just started his business in April of 2020. This is April of 2021. You want to tell me in less than a year, he has acquired almost $1 million net worth? Use your senses, beloved. It doesn't make sense. Not selling no luxury car in no pandemic, ma'am. People still out here crying for the government to send them some more money, and you think people's gonna be regular everyday people's gonna be buying luxury car when you have doctors and lawyers talking about their business. Doctors saying, oh, I lost 90%. You know, doctors working till 6 o'clock at night. You know, now some doctors going in on their used to off days. Like, I gotta make this money up that they missed. So make it make sense. Use the senses. I have to run because I gotta come back with this budget. And Ready to Love. I don't know if I'm gonna get to Ready to Love today. I don't know. I love you. Let me know what you think. Bye, beloved.